Hey everybody, it is Wednesday and we are going to tackle, I know last week I said we're going to check out a kit, but what I've decided to do is instead we're going to do my monthly card class. So let me try to kind of make this a little more even. The mount and I are in a constant battle, but we're gonna do some fun things with the Be Mine suite. If you got my packet this month, then all these things are prepped and cut for you. The monthly packet includes it includes 6x12 paper and a full pack of the super cute adhesive backed hearts and flowers, and then also a full roll of the sweet sorbet. So my monthly classes are $35. They always include product. And then, if you had the Be My Valentine suite with it, then great. If you need me to get it for you, totally fine too. So if you're a demonstrator, you're always more than welcome to take my class. I'm going to keep these guys kind of handy because I know I'm going to need them. For this class, I keyed off of the Designer Series paper. So we use Daffodil Delight, Sweet Sorbet, Pool Party, and Petal Pink, plus some black as well, right, for the bee, right, you need that for the bees. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the punch and the stamp set, and we're going to make a couple of really cute projects. So this month I did 2 super fancy folds. And then we did 2 3D projects, which I thought would be fun. So let's tackle the 3D projects first. So the first 3D project is the super cute pencil holder. I found these really cute pencils at Target, and they had all sorts of, but I loved that this one had the black and the red. It kind of reminded me of the bee. And so I thought these were fun. So everybody in the class actually ended up getting 4 of these because I had extra and I thought it would be fun to share. So for this one, I've already pre-punched a vellum wing for you. And then I also put a sheet of vellum in the packet for you, just a 4th sheet of the vellum that we have, because I want you to feel it's pretty substantial. Our vellum's a lot of fun to play with, and if you wanted to punch more wings later, you could. And then we're going to stamp and punch a bee, of course, and then we're going to use some pieces of DSP. So this piece of Sweet Sorbet is scored, and we're gonna cut and put some pieces of DSP on here. So let me move some things out of my way. All right. And I have a lot of scraps, so I'm gonna try to use up some of my scraps today. So the one I make now might not match the one I made before, although I think these guys match pretty well. So, but I do like to use up my scraps. So, all right. Okay. So, and then I think, oh, that's cute. So this is fine, but the directionality of that one's not going to work. But this is good, the yellow. I like the little bees too, though. They're really cute. All right, some little pieces here. All right, so this piece is using my glass mat. So 1 1/4 so this should go together pretty quickly. We're going to glue, so this is a 1.5 inch strip, and then we just scored it, you know, a little 1/4 inch at the bottom to make the pocket. But I love this guy up here. And then we'll fling paper. That was fun. All right, if you're here, say hello and let me know your feelings about Valentine's Day. Love it, hate it, how do you feel? So these pieces are, this one might be a little long. I should have trimmed that. Well, that's okay. I assumed it was cut right because I had it in my bucket. So they should be 1 1/4 by 3.5. And then I'm assuming that the inside, this one looks like it's 3 3/4, which I think is kind of nice because it'll tuck all the way down. So what we're going to do, what I found was the easiest was to put the pencil in here to begin with, and then kind of staple it on either side. But you're just going to staple it, and you want to staple so that the rough edge of the staple is facing the front, so that we can cover it with, we're going to cover it with the B, and we're going to cover it with the ribbon. So we're just gonna staple, and then we're gonna wrap some ribbon around here and tie a bow. Sending Valentine's. Hey Patsy, welcome. Yeah, so Kathy, you'll love the 2 cards that I have coming up. I think they're perfect for grandkids. But they could be really nice for a shut-in too. So the cards are really fun. And I think that it's nice to have some treats. Like I enjoy like having some little Valentine's treats prepped and ready in my car, because then like at the drive-thru in Starbucks or the dry cleaners, like if you can like brighten someone's day and give them something, I think that's really sweet. I cut way too much ribbon, as you can see, but that's okay. It's still super cute. We'll just trim it. All right. So, and I've got plenty of string. That's one of the things I like about this class is I can send like a full roll of ribbon, and I feel like people can, you know, like you can use as much ribbon as you want because that's your choice. Oh, and then we need one of the smiley faces. So there's a bunch of different smiley faces for the bees. There's the winky one, the full smile, kind of the grin one, and then the kind of like angry bee. I'm not using the angry bee. I prefer the other faces, but all right, so let's get a block here. And we end up using this bee pretty much throughout the whole thing, so we'll just kind of leave him mounted over there. All right, so when you're stamping the bee, you're going to want to pay attention to the punch. So you want the stinger to go to the right. So when you're stamping the bee, if it's easier for you to stamp the stinger first, you can do that, or you can just stamp the yellow. So we're doing Daffodil Delight. Yeah, and I think, I mean, who wouldn't like to get a fun pencil, or, like, I love these little pencils. I think they're fun. Or, you know, a chapstick or something. So, all right, so we're going to stamp our B. So stamp our circle. And then we're going to stamp the black. And I find it's helpful. I'm kind of line up the end of the black and then the top and the bottom. So my goal is to line up the black with the end of the edge of the yellow, and then kind of get the top and the bottom. So that's how I've learned how to stamp it, so that you're getting it in the right spot. And then I actually want my bee to be going the other way. So when I stamp his face, I'm going to stamp his face going that way. But when I punch him, now you could punch him first. Like you could punch the piece and then try to hit the piece. A lot of people use Post-it notes to do this. I actually just use our Pick-a-Tool because I find that the end is just sticky enough that I can usually get it placed just right. And there we go. So when you punch it, it punches a heart and another heart. So a lot of people have been using this for hearts. It also, the shape makes a really cute like quotation bubble. So you'll see a lot of samples out there that are using this punch for, you know, a conversation bubble or just for the hearts. This heart is irregularly shaped. This one's a little more normal shaped. When you turn it over, you can actually stamp the antennas on here and you can stamp the wing on here. Now in this case, I'm just using a vellum wing because I like the look of the vellum. And I'm just going to use a glue dot to adhere the vellum wing. So I'm putting a glue dot on the end of the vellum wing, and then I'm going to find the right place for this. And then I am going to put this up on a dimensional. And I'm going to kind of hold it and see like where. So I think like probably one. I'm going to kind of reverse engineer it. So I'm going to put the dimensional down, and then I'm going to put my guy where I want him. So, super cute little pencil holder, right? Someone would feel so fancy if they got that. Super cute teacher gift. You know, I think this is a sweet one. So, okay. So the second little gift that we're going to make is this cute chapstick holder. So I found these chapsticks on sale for 69 cents at CVS. They are strawberry ice pop, but they're kind of fun, right? With the black and the pink and the yellow, right? They are from the I Love Summer collection. I don't really care. I'm sure they're delicious. And I used the cracker die. And so I went ahead and for everybody in the class, I pre-cut the cracker die so that you're ready to go. And we're going to stamp a bee, of course. So I'm going to get our little bee guy in here. And make sure we've got room for the whole party. So when you did the cracker die, you can make the cracker 5-sided, or you can make it 4-sided, or even Toblerone 3-sided. So you know how Toblerone comes in the little like 3-sided situation like that. So if you're trying to like mimic a Toblerone, you know, you could make a tiny little baby Toblerone. You can do a 5-sided one where you just glue the 2 ends together, and that would fit something really large. But what I found was that this fit really well in a 4-sided one. Hello. So I'm going to glue 2 of the sides together. So I'm just going to put some glue on 2 of these sides. And you can glue the ends or not. It's up to you as to how you want to do that. Sometimes it's nice to glue the ends because then they kind of do what you want. Or some people just glue the main, you know, the main side pieces. So you just kind of get your finger in there. You can flatten it, and you could like really squish them together and get it all. If it's 4-sided, you can flatten it. If it's 5-sided, you can't do that. All right, so now we're gonna stick our piece in there, and then we're gonna cut a couple of pieces of ribbon. And don't forget to put your treat in there before you do it. And depending on if you want them to be able to open it and then reopen it, would depend on kind of how long you want this to be. So if I want them to be able to tie and untie it, then I might keep this a little bit longer so that I can make a bow and they can untie the bow. Unfortunately, I don't feel like this ties really good small bows, which is interesting because it's a relatively skinny ribbon. But I feel like the knot was a little bit cuter. And so I just did a double knot on mine. And I still think I don't like the bow. So I'm just going to do the knot. And they're just either going to get in or they're not. I guess you don't have to do a double knot. But. All right. And then I used the, in the really cute cracker die, which I thought I had pulled. So the cracker die is really cute because it has these hearts that you can actually, you could cut away from the side and you could put like a window and you could see it. But it also has these really cute label shapes on here that are great for sentiments and little tags and stuff. So I use this one, the fancy one that has the stitching on it. And so I've already pre-cut that. And we're going to stamp the Be Mine. And then we're going to stamp a different face on this guy. So we're going to stamp the little... And the Be Mine fits perfect in here. So, all right, so we're going to get a different face. So same process, we're going to stamp the yellow of the body first, and we're going to stamp that. Then we're going to stamp the black, and again we're going to orient it to the right so that it punches well, and we're just going to again line up top and bottom, left and right. We do our best. If it's a little off, it's okay. Then we're going to flip them over because I like my bees oriented differently. And then in this case, I actually stamped, and I don't like it, so I stamped Petal Pink in both solid and the cool little pattern. So for this one, I'm actually going to just do the pattern, and I'm going to stamp it right on here because I've already got this piece cut out, so there's no point. So I'm going to get my Petal Pink, and I'm going to get my piece, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to line it up, and if I'm not successful or I don't like it, I can always flip it over and try again. And that one's a little better. Okay, so there's this cute little wing, and there he is, but we're going to rotate him around, and we're going to get him in. And again, if I can't get it, where I want it, I can always use my putty end of my Pick-a-Tool and a little bit of patience. Let's see. Maybe a little bit of patience. Ta-da! All right. So, all right, we've got our guy. And we're going to use our glue dots again. And so I'm just going to put a glue dot on the end of the wing. I think that's the easiest way to adhere this. And then I'm going to kind of put it here. All right, and then the Be Mine is stamped in the Sweet Sorbet, which is an in color that's going away this year, which I'm a little sad about because I like it better than Real Red. Red feels harsh now that we've had the sweet sorbet. Be mine. So cute. Okay. All right. So then on the side of here, I'm just going to glue the bee. So I'm going to get a little bit of glue and I'm going to glue him so he'll sit like this, right? Because I want it to sit like that. So I won't go too low. I want to make sure that he's still seen over the little piece. And then we can just put a couple of dimensionals on here. And your standard size dimensional fits perfect on this. Welcome, Marlene. All right. So there we go. Super cute, right? All right. So we've made a couple of really cute treat holders. Now let's make a couple of really cute cards. So the cards are a little more complex, which is why I only did 2 cards and then the 2 3Ds this month. So the first card is a bookmark card, and it's a little different. So the card base is flat, and then this piece opens like this, which is super cute. And this is a bookmark, and it pulls off. And so now they have a corner bookmark for their books. So I was thinking, Kathy, when we were talking about sending Valentine's to the grandkids, this would be perfect for them. So we're going to construct the main parts of the card, which is, you've got your base piece of Daffodil Delight, and then I use one of the 3D embossing folders for this piece. And so now we've got a little bit of, texture on here, which is fun. I don't think we have a current, honeycomb or hive or hexagon folder, but that would have been even better. Maybe 2 on the nose. I don't know. All right, and then you have a small card base, right? So this is the piece that's going to go on here. So we want to stamp this, though, before we glue it. So let's work on stamping. So I'm going to kind of flatten it back out. It's already been scored for you. So if you wanted to stamp something on the inside, you could. We are going to stamp the outside, though. So we're going to need our bee. So that's why we've been practicing stamping, right? So we're going to stamp a bee. And he's going to go like here-ish. All right, and then we're going to have to stamp the base of him, the black. So, hopefully. Pretty good, not bad, not bad, not bad. And then there's a cute little piece in here that's like the trail of a bee. And then we want the You Make My Heart Buzz, or maybe You'll Always Be the one for me. I think that's really cute too. I think I might use that on another one now. So what's the other one? I love you no matter what. Love you. I think that we'll go with the original sentiment. You make my heart buzz. All right, so I'm going to. So the line 1, we're just gonna do a little piece of it, and you can stamp off if you need to, but you just want to kind of line it up and stamp. And that's the nice thing about the glass mat, it just wipes right off. So we've got the little line for him, which is great. And then in this case, we're gonna do the winky face, and we need his antennas. So the winky face. Oh, antennas first. Okay. Antenna. So there. Super cute. And then, so the reason we're doing it in the upper right hand corner is so that we can hide it under the piece that we're gonna have the the bookmark, so they won't see it. So it's kind of like a surprise under there, which is kind of nice. And then you make My Heart Buzz. I think the only thing I don't like about this one is that there's a lot of little pieces, and so I feel like it required a lot of different, blocks. All right, so we're going to use a small piece of DSP on here to do something cute. You can pick kind of the pattern that works for you. I think I'm going to stick with the pattern I had on the other one, which is the little flowers. So this month, I didn't have anyone take card class in person, which was kind of wild. And so that's why I was like, well, then I'm just going to do my class. So I had like some to-go kits. And I thought, well, it'd be fun to show you guys what we do in card class. All right. So you make My Heart Buzz. So this is just a little 1/2-inch strip. And this is a 3-inch front. And clearly this is longer than 3 inches. But guess what? There's an easy way to solve that. All right. Okay, so now to build a little bookmark piece. And it's a little tricky. You need a piece of DSP that is 5 by 5. And I'm not sure that I have the right one. I don't think this one's big enough because this is going to have to be, right? Because 2.5, All right, so I need to cut a new piece, or I could use this, maybe. Sure, I'll use this. All right, so 5 by 5, and we're gonna get our paper trimmer out. We're gonna score at 2.5 on both ways, so vertically and horizontally. So you're just gonna, you could just fold the paper in half, or you could use your cut and score. All right. So what's gonna happen is one of these pieces is going to be the piece that flips up. And the other pieces are going to be on the outside. So I want this to be the piece that flips up. So that means that this is going to be the outside piece, which is great. So you can see we're going to flip it up there. And we're going to cut away one of the pieces. And I just have to remember which one. Oh dear. All right. So if this goes here, and this goes here, then this piece comes here. Yeah, okay. So cut away the upper right-hand quadrant. And if you have a hard time seeing, because like these stripes are terrible for me. I don't know. It's okay if it's not super perfect. You could use your trimmer too, I guess. But... All right. So then I'm going to fold this flap in first because I don't want my flowers to be upside down. I want them to be right side. And then both of these are going to get folded up. So I'm going to use this to glue. Stay down. All right, so then once you have that, then you're gonna take these two flaps that you've glued together, and hopefully they line up, and if they're uneven, you can fix it. That's because I was trying to cut on stripes, I think. All right, super cute. So here we go. So we folded it up, and so now when we put this on here, right? And once we've added this guy, you're not gonna be able to see this at all. So then you can glue this back. With this one, I added a little tab because I like the tab kind of sticking up out of the card. And so we could take, you know, one of our little scraps that we just tossed away And we can glue this back behind here. If you want to use glue dots to adhere them, I think it's really smart because glue dots are a really strong adhesive. So I think a glue dot makes a lot of sense back here. So I'll put a glue dot down. And then I'm going to kind of create my tab. That's good. Okay, so I like that. So now I'm going to put some more adhesive back here. And I'm going to make sure that this stays where I want it to stay. I'm just going to hold that down for a second because that's got a lot of folds and things going on. All right, and then we're going to use our scrap to stamp another bee. And then I want to show you that you can stamp on vellum. So this heart, which one, Veronica? I love all of this DSP. It's super cute. I did not think, well, I mean, so I'm sure you guys have heard, my name means honeybee. So Melissa means honeybee in Greek, and I love it. I think it's super sweet. And so all bee things I usually get, but I wasn't sure about this one. I was like, ugh, Valentine's. You guys know how I feel about Valentine's. But it's just so cute. It's hard to say no. All right, so you can stamp on vellum, and it's a little hard to see right here. Well, maybe not. You can see that. Yeah, so I think it's cute when you add a little bit of color on the vellum. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, so you know, you'll want to set that aside to dry before you mess with it, but I think it's nice. It's an extra touch, you know, so, all right, there's a couple of blobs in my yellow. All right, so same deal. We're just making bees, making lots of bees. We could probably just make another bee for the next card, right? I'm sure there's another bee somewhere. All right, so this one does go to the right, so he is driving in the right direction. Flying. What do? They fly. All right, and this is the winky face. I like the little winky face guy. He's cute. All right. And we'll punch him out. Awesome. And if you didn't want to punch these extra hearts out every time, you could use skinnier strips of paper. I'm just being lazy and not caring, so I'll have lots of extra little hearts when the day is done. All right, so instead of touching the vellum one too much, I'm actually going to adhere the glue dot on the back of here first, and then I'm gonna like kind of move this over without touching it. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. And then, haha, now he's glued on. And then I'm going to be able to put this on here. So I'm going to, that is barely glued on. That's funny. I lose things on my desk all the time, guys. All right, let's find some. All right, so I'm going to use a couple of the dimensionals, but towards the top of the guy, because I know the bottom of him's going to be exposed, so we're going to kind of fly him right here. And here's the other one we made, right? And so we're going to tuck that on there. And now we've got this piece, and so all we have to do here is just put a little bit of glue on the back of here. And we built our card. So I love this one. I think it's super fun. So this is a card. A friend gave me one. So all 3D swaps, I'm sure I've told you guys before, 3D cards or fancy folds, I usually have to have them in person to be able to like figure out how they're put together. And a friend had given me a card like this, and I was so impressed with it. I thought it was so cute. And she actually comes to my retreat every year. And I could not figure out how she did this. I had to message her. I was like, okay, I give up. I was like, you have to tell me. How did you make this happen? So, All right, so there's our super cute bookmark card. Super fun. All right, now the last project of the night. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it's longer than we normally go on a Wednesday night, but I'm glad you did, because this one might be the piece de resistance. And hopefully I'll remember all the measurements on this one. I do have a PDF that I'm putting together for the folks that took the class with measurements and stuff. So if you're interested, I can always, get you that. Okay. So this is super cute because I like how this lines up with this. It uses the new hexagon punch, which I love. I like using the pool party, and we're definitely going to use some of the little stickers. But the best part of this one is, ta-da, the cutest little bag on the inside. So this was cased with much care and a lot of, say what? Do what? How does this work? So we're going to create, and it's a little bag, like a little gift bag, and you can put a gift card in there, and it fits the gift card just right. You could even put a little bit of tissue paper or something in there. Super, super cute. Super fancy. So let's work on we'll do a little bit of the stamping, and then we'll work on the next part. Okay, so we've got our card up here. So we're gonna actually stamp him on some solid color, so we don't have to stamp the yellow, which I really like. And I think that it cuts out one step, right, in the process, which is great. The other thing I like about this one is that he's going up, and so directionally, hey Lisa, directionally, you can see that he's doing something a little different than our other bees have been doing, which I think is good. So we're just gonna stamp and punch him. All right, perfect. And all these extra hearts, don't worry, they'll get put in the scrap bucket. I promise they'll be used. All right, so we're gonna orient him up, and we're gonna stamp the blue. Oh, well, we're going to stamp the little smiley face. So this is the last smiley face of all the smiley faces, other than the weird grumpy one. And where's this one? Here it is. Okay. No grumpy bees. And then we are going to take one of these small white ones, and we're going to stamp the little antenna on there. Now I will say, I think it fits better on one way versus the other. So just, if it doesn't fit right for you, flip the heart over and give it a try. And then we're gonna stamp the blue for the wings, the pool party. And again, if they don't line up well, or you're having a hard time, or you want to try to flip it over, do that. I also think that they line up better on one side than the other. So you can decide which one's the right fit for you. And then on the hexagon, we're going to stamp You'll Always Be the One for Me. Super cute. I like that sentiment. And then we still need the trail piece as well. So this sentiment will go down a little bit lower. So it leaves room for the loop-de-loop at the top. Which is kind of fun. And you can move your bee depending on where, your trail goes. So, all right, so we're gonna put together our bee. Again, glue dots are our friends. So we're gonna put a glue dot on here, if I can pick it up. So a glue dot on the end of the antenna, and that'll help us get our antenna on our guy just right. And then we'll use glue dots on the wings. So one wing and two wings. And you kind of want the wings going up, you know, like we want an upward flight, upward trajectory of our friend. All right, so we've got our stamped pieces, so that's good. Now we're going to cap this. Now we're gonna get our DSP pieces. I'm gonna get that part glued together. So we have a couple pieces of DSP that we need. We need one piece for the front, and then we have one piece here on the right, and then we have another piece on the inside, and then we have the white and another piece on the inside. So we've got a lot of pieces. Lisa, thanks for messaging. I am going to sell the PDF to customers, but if you're on my team, you get my monthly card class PDFs. And so, oh, the hexagon punch isn't available till the end of April. Oh, Kathy. You know, I was late to the hexagon punch vibe, and I wasn't using it. I had bought it, but I hadn't been using it, and now I've been using it, and I think it fits a lot of sentiments really well. So that's a shame. It's a good punch, but if it's not available till the end of April, then that probably means they're going to keep it around, which is good. So Lisa, you're on my team, so you will get a PDF with the measurements and stuff in it. So this piece of white, so this card base is a little bit different. It's 11 and it's scored at 4 and 9 1/4. So then this piece is 5 by 4, the white pieces. So we're gonna put the white piece on the inside. And I would recommend, because you're gonna be gluing other things to this, maybe to use a wet glue. Make sure it's glued down well. You know, make sure you go to the edges and you get your pieces glued in well for this inside piece, because you want to make sure that these two pieces are glued down well. Then these strips on the panel are, I think they're like 1.5. Yeah, so 1.5 by 4, and we need 2 of those strips. So I'm gonna look at my scraps and see what we got. There's a lot of paper here. So I need a piece that will go on the inside. That'll definitely go there. And I think I can probably use it over here. Oh, it's the same piece there too. Okay, that's good to remember. Oh, here's another piece. Good. And then I need a piece of the yellow that's a little bit wider and longer. That's not quite the right size. Let's see. Let's see what we can find. I'm determined not to cut another piece. I want the hearts to go the right way, so that's not going to work. Those guys are all too skinny. Okay, no, none of those guys. That doesn't go the right way. I might have to use the... Oh, here it is. Here's another piece. Okay. I do like the yellow. Okay. So, we're going to do 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 4. So that'll cover, that'll cover the inside there, the outside. And then this yellow, go 4. I love this yellow check gingham, whatever. And then if you're not on my team, but you just want the PDF with all the measurements and stuff, I will be selling it just independently. So if you didn't want to get the class, Like, let's say you have all of the, you know, pieces, and you're like, I just want the PDF, then I'll be selling it independently. So each month I do sell it independently. And this is 3 3/4 by 4. So that's going to cover the inside. That's going to cover the inside there. That's going to cover the outside. Okay, I might need one more piece of DSP. I think I'm missing like a big piece. Yeah. All right, I've got to cut one piece. But I've sure done good not having to cut a bunch of paper. We need more of that jar. I love the jars. They're so cute. Little honey jars. Okay. All right, so let's glue some more pieces. So we're gonna do the red on the inside. And I could do, I mean, you could do any of these patterns on here. I think they're all super, super cute. Okay. And then we'll do the yellow over here. And then we're gonna make the bag, and that'll be the last piece. Where it all comes together. All right, and then we're gonna do outside. Get mine. This needs to be bone folded. So our black cardstock is like a thicker weight than our other cardstock, and so I just feel like our black cardstock really has to be, the creases really have to be bone folded, or else it'll never lay down flat. All right, so now we've got our pieces, and we're gonna mount these. So I'm gonna put this on some dimensionals, and I'm just gonna know that, like, I'm not gonna put dimensionals on that side. So I'm gonna put like one here, right on the edge, and then I'm probably gonna put one here just to help hold down his antenna. Because even though I have it glued down, I found the antennas come off pretty easily. I'm gonna do quite a few on him. Only because he's just really, he's out there and he needs support. And now I'll be able to come in with this and say, okay, now I know that I'm only gonna put some dimensionals on this side. So maybe 3. And tuck it under there. So what's nice about this, hopefully, is it holds it down a little bit. It kind of holds the card together. And it's going to get, because you're going to put a lot of stuff on the inside, because we're putting this bag on the inside, it's definitely going to, need it. So, okay. So now the bag, and hopefully I can remember the measurements. If I can't, I might have to pull up my PDF. So hold on one sec. Let me do that, because that makes me nervous. This? Oh no, it's not that. This is what I was worried about. I should have written it down on like a sticky note or something. And I have a whole bunch of junk on my computer right now that is not helpful for crafting. All right, let's see if I can find it. My laptop's a mess, guys, but I don't want to spend the time to clean it up. All right, let me see if I can find the measurements for the cute little bag that goes on the inside, although I think the card is cute even without it, but with it, it's super, super cute. But let me see if I can find the measurements for this. Oh, hopefully I can. Oh, I've got back too far. Okay, I'm just gonna remember. I'm gonna channel my best self. All right, so the piece goes, and I've got my ruler here. So it's an inch on the side, right? So, because that's an inch. And then it's 3.5. So 3.5 and 3.5, and 1 and 1. So that's 7, 8, 9.5. Yep, 9.5. And then 9.5 by, that's 2.5, and then 3.5. Yep. So 9.5 by 3.5. Let's get our trimmer. Okay. And we're going to need a fresh piece of paper for this. And you can decide which bees you want to use and who's buzzing where. But you're going to want it to be 3.5 by 9.5. So 9.5 means that I'm going to be taking off 2.5 inches off of this end. So I'm going to go ahead and not there. Okay. And then 3.5 this way. Okay. All right. And then we're going to score, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch on this side. And then we're going to score at 1/2 inch on the other side, so on the 3.5 inch. Then we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So that's going to be like the little lip that comes over. We're going to score at 4. We're going to score at 4.5. We're going to score at 5. Then we're going to score at, I'm going to pull my arm out here. Then we're going to score at 8.5 and 9. Okay, so that's a lot of score marks. So what we're creating is this bag shape, right? And so by doing this, you're creating kind of a divot here, and you're creating the divot here, right? So you're seeing how the bag is going to come together. And if you're good at 3D stuff, then this will be like easy breezy to you. If you're not, then, but this will come together like this, right? So you're starting to see kind of how that shape comes together. Now, once you have that, we can unfold it, and we can see that we're going to need to cut a few pieces away. So what we want to cut away are the bottom. We're going to cut away a bottom corner here. We're going to cut away both of the ones here of this piece. And if it's hard to see because of the color or the texture of the paper, you know, you can bend it and guide yourself. And then we're going to want to cut away both of these corners too. So bend that up so I can see where that is. Okay. So what's left then is a bottom panel. So that's going to get tape down, right? And then you start to see where the sides, right? You see how this is going to overlap here. Good. Now, before we do that, see how this bag has this really cute detail of the little folded over edge, which I think is super cute. So before we glue it, we're going to fold our edge back. So make sure that before you start to assemble your bag, you fold that edge back. And now, this super cute piece. Okay. So this is going to come inside here. And you can go either this way or you can go this way. I'm probably going to go this way this time. I kind of did it a little bit differently last time. And I'm going to use tear and tape. Last night when I was doing this, I was not using tear and tape. And not last night, last week or whenever I was working on this. And it's not last night. I didn't use tear and tape and I regretted it. So I'm going to use tear and tape. One, tear and tape is great for building 3D boxes and bags. And two, it also helps me show you where to glue. And it's also a little bit easier to manipulate inside of a card like this because it's actually a little tricky. All right, so we're going to tear away this one and we're going to, we can actually probably, this thing to do with me just to like kind of fold it and do that. Great. All right, so we've got that edge. So now we can kind of pop that one in. Super good. And so now you can start to see how it's going to come together, right? So now this is going to be our base. What's interesting about it is the base doesn't overlap necessarily, right? It's not going to come like this. It's actually going to be like spread apart because it's going in the fold. So then when you fold the card, it will fold with it. So see that base? See how the base is kind of cut away and it folds into the fold. Isn't that interesting? I thought this is fascinating. All right, so we're going to tear our tear and tape off. I'm leaving that up there so you can see that. So I'm basically going to bring it, I'm going to keep it flat is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to kind of push this on this edge. I'm just going to push it into the corner. And then I'm going to push this and I'm going to seal it. And then when it opens, right, now it opens the way we want it to open. Isn't that cute? I love it. I think it's super cute and super creative and like, I don't know, who wouldn't be super excited to get something like that? All right, so then all we have to do for the final touch is put some handles on our bag, which I think kind of makes the whole thing super good, super polished. So we're just going to take a little bit of our ribbon and I'm going to use glue dots again. And so I'm going to measure kind of how long I want the ribbon to be. And then I'm going to cut two very equal pieces so that one of our handles isn't longer than the other. And then we're going to get our glue dots back. And I'm going to put a glue dot on one of them and I just kind of press it and then I peel the whole thing up. And then I'm going to I think I'm going to try to get the glue dot on the other one before I try to put it on. So glue dot on the other end, press the whole thing up. So now I'm going to put a glue dot in here. And then the nice thing about this ribbon is it's very soft and pliable. So it does make really cute little handles and they're pretty easy to apply and get in here. And then I'm going to get a glue dot on this one. And So I'm applying the glue dot on the same side. So there's a glue dot here and there's a glue dot here. And then I'm gonna rotate it around and I'm gonna try to put the handles equidistant down, equidistant apart to kind of match the handles on the other side. Okay, cool. Well, that was a long class, but that's about right for a class and not like a Wednesday night. So hopefully you, oh, gotta get the little, gotta get the heart out. That's so cute. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. And hopefully you see the value in what we're doing on a monthly basis. Someone asked me, like, you know, is your class more than like a paper pumpkin type style? And I'm like, I think so. Like, I like to think that I'm teaching you guys fun folds. Thank you, Lisa. You know, I like to think I'm teaching you fun folds or something that you haven't done before and something that you wouldn't learn otherwise, or a technique or something. So there are big hearts and small hearts, big daisies and small daisies. And I'll probably use these, like I didn't really accessorize these much, but I'll probably come back in and do a little bit of, you know, accessorizing because I think it's super cute. And, you know, I think that there's, you know, this is a super fun little, I'll get a little heart too. This is a fun class. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully it lets you, for those of you who, you know, are potential customers or, you know, you're demonstrators, but you want to get some fun ideas. Hopefully this gives you some fun ideas. And I appreciate you joining me tonight. And thanks for hanging with me while things have been a little wild. And I look forward to crafting more. Next month, we're going to be playing with the Hooray for Surprises is the stamp set we're using next month. And the dies for this are super cool. We're going to use the Perfectly Eclectic, Naturally Eclectic, I don't know what it's called, Delightfully Eclectic, DSP. And there'll be an embellishment with it too. But what I like about these dies is there's these tabs and this like tearaway tab and this like perforated piece so that you can like make interactive cards. So we're going to be playing with this next month, the Hooray for Surprises. I love that it has like a little pull for the pull tab or open here. And we can do like little surprises behind the panels and stuff. So it's going to be fun. It'll be, again, another engineering feat for me and good for my mind to exercise my brain and think about that. But thanks so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you get to do something fun and crafty. And I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye, y'all. See you later.